My upload today is with regard to the obstacles and obstructions I'm experiencing since wrongdoings and collectively orchestrated effort of hate crime and treason and human rights violations commenced since I became a married mom, which I am still to this day in 2022. On the 30th of the 3rd, 2015, I became a married woman, and since then my constitutional rights and my human rights in a democracy have been assaulted and harassed. Usually when you think of assault and harass, you think of a physical interaction, but in this instance it's been my constitutional rights and my human rights. And there have been non-entities and non-entities, basically faceless individuals that have intruded incessantly upon me, and they have caused awful obstructions and societal obstacles. So there's been a lot of defamation of my good name and character as well, and there has been absolutely no solidity, authenticity or substance to the false claims or any of the dangerous defamation that has been said about me. And this goes back to 2006, when in this town, the same collective that have caused awful offence to good name, character, reputation, repeated a cycle of hate crime again in this community, and caused disruption to society with the effort of hate crime against a person that they have that much reason to be of offences towards. They have no validity or basis to what they have done. It's highly irrational. I find it difficult to comprehend, but that's the nature of hate crime. So anyway, they have had efforts of spiritual violence as well orchestrated against me since I became a mom, and the defamation has been quite dangerous as well. That's a part of the treason. So the issue of their input with defamation in 2016, which caused an unlawful care order that the Tusla Child and Family Agency and the Ombudsman for Children have been made aware of since 2017, and that still have not been addressed, is also an aspect of this whole fiasco. It's quite sinister what's happened. My child has been traumatized, and there's a preoccupation with my farm holdings in Ardfert and Kilflynn, County Kerry, that these people have been really obstinate about pursuing and acquiring. And even to this day, up to now, they're probably still trespassing, There have been trespass issues, and the authorities haven't addressed that. And I'm quite concerned that any authorities would not be addressing what was stipulated in a procedure that I initiated in 2017, that to this day in 2022 still hasn't been addressed. So the issue that is also a matter, besides the fact that my child is unlawfully withheld from me by the agency, TUSLA, and the issue of my matrimony, the church, and bad faith being at play, bad faith being demonstrated in a democracy is a concern. I'm married, and I'm still married, and there has been an effort of individuals preoccupied with my property to alter and edit a few facts. The information of the reality has also been subject to fraud. The reality has been horrific. It has been arduous, and it has been difficult for my little child since TUSLA failed to honour and respect my son's rights and my rights as his lawful and legal parent. The issue of individuals that have orchestrated this arranged effort of hate in a community have previously caused this kind of a ruckus in society. That was in 2006, and that was pretty serious, because that was also disrespecting women's rights. And in most recent times, my work as a recovery advocate for sanity and sobriety has also been disrespected, and that has been positively affecting the COVID initiative. And there have been people that have really stepped over the line, not only into my ancestral farms, but into my private space, my personal space, my professional life. And there are defamation laws, and we all know the dangers of defaming a good name. And for the past 20 years, my good name has been defamed. And there are people thinking they're above the law, disrespecting the democracy, and walking onto property and harming an innocent life of a mother, of a child whose mother is a humanitarian and that has worked for the betterment of society and recovery and so on and so forth. So there has been spiritual violence in this community, and in 2018, my hopes for the endeavour I brought upon myself, really, I didn't have to do it. It has had a positive impact on people's lives. It has been injurious. It has changed the face of certain matters, but there are still people that are really obstinate and stuck in a circumstance that isn't, based on reality. In reality, they're failing to come to terms with their role as guilty culprits of defamation and of a fabricated circumstance, and they're finding it difficult to come to terms with their role in recent circumstances as well. And these are power players. So when I think of a power player, I think of an intelligent person. I think of a person that's mature, responsible, capable, competent, etc. And when we talk about responsibility, we say you own your problems. If you make a problem, you fix your problem. And that's why we have procedures for that. And since February 2017, after I was unlawfully detained, perfectly sane and sober, after I had been released after being unlawfully detained as a new mother in a democracy, who would support this kind of a situation? It's absolutely repulsive. I initiated processes with ombudsmen and the Dáil representatives in February 2017, and it's 2022, and I'm still confronted with the guilty culprits in society, causing problems where there shouldn't be problems, causing problems in people's families like that have been caused for my child and I. It's not really, it's not mature behaviour. And if I was in any, let's say, power player position, I'm being modest, but I think I'd be a little bit more sensible about who I'd be. People disrespect without conscience, or without tough with the consequence. And some people think they're above the law, and that's concerning me from so many perspectives. There are spiritual laws, there are humanitarian laws, there's constitutional laws. And I'm a married mom. Now, my lawful husband is a missing person. My child is a missing person. And the ombudsmen are aware of the circumstances since 2017, and these matters are getting worse. And there has been a lot of exploitation. The sun is shining out today. The sun is shining today in Tralee, County Kerry, and I haven't even got so much as hot water or warmth in my apartment, and I'm feeling the cold, and I'm experiencing medical negligence, and it's really tough. It's really tough when individuals are, monetizing. They've been monetizing. We know about NEFIT. NEFIT is a healthcare development that arose from circumstances that came into fruition after my child was unlawfully separated from me. And everyone knows their role in this situation. But what's kind of insulting to intelligence is that people would think that they're going to hoodwink and put blinders upon like just that didn't happen that way. But in fact, who would be silly in an evolved society? I'm really concerned. Who would be insulting intelligence? Do you know what I mean? Like there's been the mental health recovery, the health and well-being and hygiene developments and all of that came about as a consequence of my experiences when I was first intruded upon between 2017 2018, and that's all being disrespected. So I'm just concerned about the common sense and the common courtesy, and it's common knowledge, and I'm just wondering how insulting is that to smart people. You know, trespassing onto my property after insulting my child and after insulting my good name. I'm really concerned about the people that are walking onto land of my ancestors after causing so much damage, harm, and loss. So, what kind of civilization is coming about when people can't respect common sense and common courtesy, and when they're insulting human intelligence? So, as a humanitarian pacifist, as a recovery advocate, as a teacher, all of those things that I represent, all of those facets of my personality or my profession, all of those that are being insulted, I have concerns for the policymakers and politicians and